Hello everybody, this is Warmlight Tarot. Welcome to today's reading for the fall season 2021. This is a general reading and there will be a love reading as well, published probably next week, so stay tuned for that as well. As usual, as this is a general reading meant for everybody, only taking those messages that resonate with you and leave out the rest, okay? So listen to your gut feeling. We have 3 piles of cards here, 3 decks. So deck number 1, this is the Star Spinner Tarot with Golden Calcite. Deck number 2 is the Light Grey Tarot with Carnelian. And deck number 3 is the Quantum Tarot deck with Tiger's Eye here. So now I will let you have a few moments alone with these decks, so you can see which one you feel most drawn to. I will give you about 10 seconds, but if you need more time than that, feel free to pause the video, okay? Hello, deck number 1, you chose the Golden Calcite with Star Spinner Tarot deck. So let's have a look at what the cards tell us. So first I pulled 3 cards to represent the initial situation, so how the fall season starts for you. So we have the Fool, the 6 of Chalices and 5 of Chalices, as well as the Fortitude. This is bottom of the deck energy here. So let's look at these cards. First we have the Fool, which tells me that there is a new beginning in your life. It could be something material, like a new career, a new job, or a new school, something like that. Or it could be something immaterial, like a new spiritual path or an emotional path, possibly, because of the chalices here. For some of you, it could be a new relationship or a new stage in a relationship with your partner, because the 6 of Chalices here, it's a very sweet card. It has this kind of familiar, homey, very comfortable energy. So for some of you, it could be a new person, but I kind of feel like because of the familiar home-like vibe that this card has, that this is a person that you already know. So it could be an existing partner or a new relationship with someone that you already know, like maybe you get back together with an ex, or you meet someone from your childhood and you just hit it off and you start a new relationship with this person. It's not necessarily a relationship, it could be something else as well, but I feel like it is definitely for some of you. The 5 of Chalices bring a little bit of a negative vibe to this otherwise, positive collection of cards. So I feel like there's something in your life that makes you feel kind of scared and exposed. You feel like you've lost something, but this card always advises you to look to the positive, like not all is lost. Maybe something, not so ideal happened, but it's not the end of the story. There's often a silver lining or something more positive that you could be focusing on instead of on the negative. The Fortitude advises you to stay strong and to remain kind and compassionate towards yourself and towards other people on your journey. It does require some strength on your behalf to go through this process, what's going on here, but I feel like you do have the inner strength to deal with it, okay? Out of interest, I wanted to check what this card here, the Five of Chalices is about. So I pulled a clarifier and it was the Emperor. So I feel like since the Emperor is a leader and he's kind of like the CEO type or the father type, I feel like whatever it is that you're struggling with here, it has something to do with you being the leader of something. Like maybe if you were a stay-at-home mom, it could be that you're kind of like the leader in that situation. Or if you have a business or a job, could be that your responsibilities are making you feel kind of anxious. Or if you're a student, it could be that like you have to be in charge of yourself and your studies and take responsibility over them. So it could be that that is something that is stressing you out. Okay, so next I pulled 3 cards again to represent kind of like what's coming next. So we have the Seven of Chalices, 4 Wands, and 9 of Swords here, with 2 of Swords as the bottom deck energy. So the 7 of Chalices here tell me that there may be some uncertainty related to this new path, this new beginning that you are on. I feel like you have a lot of like dreams and goals and ideals, like how you want things to be, but life can be surprising, so maybe not everything always goes as you plan, or your illusions and dreams may turn into kind of fears and nightmares. So it's kind of like this mixed bag of emotions for you. The Fool is a very like curious and excited person, very adventurous. So I feel like that is you on this path, but at the same time, changes and new beginnings, they can be very, very scary. The 4 Wands tells me that there's also an aspect of like joy and happiness in this new journey for you. And if it is a relationship, like a love relationship, or it could be another type of relationship as well, like maybe a friendship, there's just a lot of like happiness, stability, and joy in this situation. This is a card of like social situation, so maybe you are like attending social events or parties together, or for some of you it could represent getting engaged or getting married even. It's a very good card for commitment. And if if you don't have any kind of relationship in your life and you're not really resonating with that, it could mean like just joyful social events in general, like you enjoy being with other people, like with friends and family, and just this joy that you find when you embark on this new path, like you commit to it and it brings you joy, a lot of joy. The Nine of Swords tells me that, and I kind of feel like it really has something to do with this Five of Chalices here. It tells me that you are feeling very alone and haunted. And with the Nine of Swords as the bottom deck energy, I feel like what haunts you is that you can't decide which way to go or what to decide. Like maybe there are these two paths and you're not really sure which way to go, or maybe two different like aspects of your life that you are kind of like struggling between, like you have to balance between them. And I feel like you are handling it really well, because this is a very harmonious card, but at the same time it's super scary. We have the moon here and the moon here. So the moon represents like our dreams and illusions and nightmares even. So I feel like you may be actually feeling alone and anxious, but it may not be the whole truth. So maybe you're not that alone as you think you are, and maybe things aren't going as bad as you think that they're going. Could be that you're just handling stress in a not very constructive way. Okay, so it may feel scary, but don't feel too bad about it. Don't panic or anything like that. Okay. And next I pulled 3 more cards to represent your future or the outcome of the situation of your fall season. So we have the World, 10 of Pentacles or 10 of Coins, and the Hierophant here with the King of Coins as bottom deck energy. So the World card here tells me that whatever this new beginning is for you, this new path, it makes you feel fulfilled and happy. Could represent the end of this uncertainty that you've been feeling, or it could be like a small journey that you're taking, like maybe it lasts only throughout the fall season, so it doesn't last any longer than that. Or like for example, if you start a new career, it could be that your career like lasts for years, but this period of kind of like being a beginner ends here, and it really ends well, so there's nothing to worry about with this new thing that you are starting in your life. All these cards tell me that the fall season is very kind of abundant, happy, fulfilling for you. For those of you who are in a relationship, like starting a new one, or continuing being in a relationship with someone, I feel like it is a very happy period for you. There's this sense of fulfillment on the material level, so it could represent like your home life, if you live together or something like that, or it could represent you just feeling very wealthy and abundant being in this relationship. The Hierophant here tells me that this struggle that you've been through, it has been worth it, because the Hierophant is a card of like belonging commitment, kind of like being a part of something. So whatever this path is here that you've been struggling with, it kind of ends well, or it ends in a kind of like a blessing. Like it's like everything is okay and everything has been worth it. Don't worry about it. I kind of feel like you are meant to go through this pain, because sometimes we learn through pain. So while you may struggle, it is worth it in the end if you just persevere, okay? And with the King of Coins as the bottom deck energy, like I said, I feel like it is a kind of like a happy, fulfilling period of time for you. So it could represent material wealth, financial wealth, or just you feeling very abundant and happy in your life in general, okay? And lastly, I pulled 2 advice cards, one from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle card deck and the other from the Herbcrafter's Tarot deck. So the Chakra Wisdom card is a card called Quest. So it represents commitment to your path and the wisdom that comes with it, like when you walk that path and you learn and you grow. So I feel like it is an advice for you to persist through whatever struggles you may be having. Like it will be worth it in the end, and you know, like whatever uncertainty or insecurity you may be feeling, you know, that's fine. It's a part of life. We all feel that way, but just stay kind of like in tune with yourself and with your truth. This is a blue card, so it represents throat chakra, and that represents like staying true to yourself. So I feel like you are being advised to stay true to yourself on this path and just to stay committed to it, and just to be open to learning from it. And that, you know, kind of makes it all worth it in the end. So don't give up even when times are tough. And from the Herbcrafter's Tarot, I pulled the Ten of Earth. So basically these 2 cards represent the same thing. The Ten of Pentacles, the Ten of Coins, the Ten of Earth. They're very stable cards, and it represents fulfillment in the material realm. And this card in particular, it's about kind of like staying grounded, especially in the community that you belong to, and just kind of building foundations for your life by being grounded and stable. So I feel like that is also what you are being asked to do here, whether for you this reading is about a relationship or career or your studies, whatever it is, you know, stay grounded, be present, and just stay on your path, okay? I feel like that is the advice for you in this fall season, okay? So part number 1, that was your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that it provided you with some clarity in this coming new season, at least if you live in the northern hemisphere. So thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. I always appreciate the support, and also like and comment if you feel called to do so. So thank you so much for your support. Bye bye. Hello pile 2. You chose Carnelian with the light gray tarot deck. So let's see what cards I'll pull for you. So first I pulled 3 cards to represent the initial situation as the fall season begins. So we have the 4 of Swords, the Fool, and the Star here, with 8 of Cups as bottom deck energy. So I feel like you are starting a new journey, and it is one that offers you healing. It will help you grow and learn a lot about yourself and your past. I feel like something intense has happened before, possibly this summer, or before that even, maybe even could be that this past year has been pretty rough for you, and now you are walking away emotionally from something negative, and you've put a stop to it, and you are in this kind of state of rest, in a state of recharging yourself, so that you will be able to start this new chapter in your life. And I definitely feel like it will be a huge change for you, not necessarily on the material level, like not necessarily something that you can feel with your senses, like see, hear, touch, taste, even though that may be possible as well. But the Star card here tells me that it is particularly a journey that is internal, like emotional, spiritual healing. Of course, it could represent like psychological healing as well, or physical healing if you've been ill or something like that. But a new chapter is definitely starting in your life this fall. So next, I pulled cards to represent like what's coming next. Like, is there anything big happening in your life? Like things like that. So we have the Hierophant, 2 of Cups, 5 of Swords, and the 7 of Swords as bottom deck energy. So I definitely feel like this new path that you are starting, it is one that offers you a lot spiritually. It could be like a spiritual path or a religious path, or it could be something that is very internal to you. But the Hierophant makes me think that it has something to do with other people, because this is a card of like belonging and institutions. So maybe you will be joining a church or a religious community, or you will be connecting with other people who are healing, maybe online or maybe in real life. Or for some of you, it could mean healing in a relationship, because the Hierophant also represents commitment, and it's a so-called marriage card, as I've probably said many times if you've ever watched my videos. So all this could represent you healing from a past relationship, or healing in a current relationship if you have been going through a rough time earlier. The 2 of Cups tells me that this new path that you are on, it definitely has something to do with your relationships, and that's possibly your romantic relationships. But if that doesn't really resonate with you, it could represent other relationships as well, like friendships or family. But I feel like for most of you, this is a new beginning, possibly with a new person, or if you are in a relationship, it could represent like this new stage in a relationship. Like maybe there were arguments before, but now you've kind of put down your swords and you are healing from it, and you are committed to each other, and you are committed to this new path together. And it seems like a very harmonious time in your life, in this relationship. The Five of Swords here tells me that you are healing from possibly old conflicts, but it is possible that some of those old conflicts still resurface during this fall. Like if you are in a relationship, if you have a partner, it could be that while you have put the past behind you and you are healing from it and you are on this new path, some of these old arguments may resurface. Like maybe you don't see eye to eye about something, or maybe there was something, maybe one of you betrayed the other person, like cheated or something like that. It could be big or small depending on what resonates with you, what your situation is. Or if you are in a new relationship, it could be that this card here represents old wounds that come up with this new relationship. Like maybe you're still healing from a previous relationship, or you feel like you haven't really gotten over an ex or something, and all that comes up with the start of this new relationship or a new connection in your life. The Seven of Swords as bottom deck energy tells me that everything is not as it seems. We have like quite harmonious cards here, minus this one. So I definitely feel like for most of you, the Seven of Swords is not like a huge deal. So it could be that if you're having an argument, one of you is not telling the truth entirely, or they're just keeping some things to themselves. However, if you are, if this new person in your life, or this former person in your life that is still in your life, if they're like a player type or something, this could be kind of an advice to maybe not believe everything that they're saying. Like maybe they're just like hiding behind a mask, and you're only like seeing this harmonious side of them. But there's something, like maybe if they're a player, they're not really showing you the true them. So stay mindful of that, okay? I just feel like there's a lot of like swords energy here with these three cards. Like otherwise it's all these cards are quite harmonious, but with these swords, I feel like if this is a past relationship or a current relationship, all things from the past haven't been dealt with. Like maybe there are secrets or arguments, competition, things like that. And you're hoping to move on. But these things, they still resurface. And like I said, if it's a new relationship, it may bring up like old wounds. And these swords represent all those old wounds within you, okay? And then I pulled 3 cards to represent the outcome or the future. So we have the Four of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Magician here with Page of Cups as bottom deck energy. So we have fours here with the Hierophant here in the middle. all these cards here have this very stable energy, and fours represent foundations. So I feel like there is or you will gain a sense of security in your life this fall season, like particularly material and mental stability. It could be in relation to this relationship that you are in, or with this new person that you have connected with, or just in general if you started like a whole new journey and it has nothing to do with relationships. It will feel very secure and stable for you at the end of the fall season. The Four of Pentacles also has this kind of like an aspect of clinging and stagnation. However, I don't really feel that with these cards here. If there is energy like that here, it's very, very minimal. In general, it has a very stable, secure energy. The Hermit tells me that this relationship or this new beginning, it kind of makes you turn inward, and it makes you examine old wounds, possibly related to relationships in general, or with your old wounds, whatever they may be. However, it is a process that helps you grow and move on, so you are ready to face new challenges in your life. We have the Fool here and the Magician here, so there's definitely this new path starting for you in your life. And the Hermit and the Star tell me that there is something in your past that you are still dealing with. Probably has something to do with relationships, or maybe something to do with like old arguments, old conflicts, maybe like limiting beliefs, maybe negative self-talk. But you are healing from it and you are moving on. And the Page of Cups tells me that kind of like everything will be okay. Like if there is a relationship in your life, I feel like your love will be rekindled. Or if you are dealing with kind of like inner turmoil, it will be worth it in the end. Like this new path is starting for you and you're feeling very emotionally kind of fulfilled, happy, curious, excited about it. The Page of Cups definitely has this sweet, kind of like childlike, excited energy. So whatever, if there are anything that you're dealing with, like issues or arguments, whatever you're dealing with, trust that everything will be okay and you will be able to heal and to move on, okay? So the Sword should definitely bring challenges to your fall season, but you are able to heal from your past and move on and start this new journey entirely, okay? Lastly, I pulled 2 advice cards, one from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle card deck and the other from the Herbcrafter Star deck. So the Chakra Wisdom card that I pulled is a card called Dissipating. So it's a card that advises you to keep working on your goals and your dreams, because you don't want to kind of wake up when you are old and realize that you've just wasted your entire life. So definitely don't give up on your dreams, and especially if this new path here involves your dreams and your goals, and you're just kind of ready to move on from the old. Don't let any of these hardships stop you. we have a yellow card here, so it represents the solar plexus chakra. So that is an energy center for your sense of self and your willpower. So you will definitely need to have that this fall season to kind of move on and to make most of your life this season, okay? And from the Herbcrafter's Tarot, I pulled a card called Wild Cherry. So it is the Nine of Fire. It's a card that advises you to persevere and have confidence and strength on your journey. But I do feel like you have that within you to be able to go through all these challenges that you've gone through and to be able to heal from it. So just don't give up and, trust your journey and trust that everything will be okay in the end, okay? So pile 2, that was your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you feel called to do so, please like and comment, and also if you haven't subscribed, please do that. I really appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Bye bye. Hello, pile 3. You chose Tiger's Eye with the Quantum Tarot deck. So let's see what the cards tell us today. So the first 3 cards that I pulled represent the initial situation as the fall season begins. So we have the Four of Swords, King of Wands, Two of Pentacles here, with King of Swords as bottom deck energy. So I feel like something has happened in your life, something that has left you feeling tired and exhausted, and possibly even something that has really hurt you. But now you are in a place of rest and balance. You are kind of like ready to, or you're like recharging and waiting for that moment that you are ready to continue your journey. With the King of Wands here, I feel like that moment is here. A lot is happening in your life and you are handling it really well. We have the King of Wands here and the King of Swords here, so I feel like there's a lot of mature energy in your life, especially mature masculine energy. Like you are dealing with life really head on. You're not really emotional about things, but rather you are just focusing on action and on mental balance, and you're handling it really well. And I feel like there is something that kind of forces you to balance between different things, as it is between these 2 kings here. It could represent like your work and your projects, your studies. Possibly you're having to balance between having to be like really busy and active with needing like kind of mental and intellectual stimulation in your life. However, I feel like you are being successful at it because the Two of Pentacles is a very balanced, steady card despite any challenges that may be happening. So you're handling it really well. And maybe for some of you, these kings could be like 2 different people. Like I kind of feel like for most of you this is like a career situation or like a project, your studies, like I said. So it could be between like two different bosses if you have two jobs, or two different professors, or two different courses. And maybe for some of you, it could be a relationship. Like maybe there are two different people in your life. The other one is very kind of fiery person, maybe with a lot of fire signs in their chart, and the other one is more kind of like intellectual and mentally balanced air sign type of person. And then let's look at what happens next as we move on from this initial situation. So there's the Five of Pentacles, Justice, and the Hanged Man, and Death is the bottom card energy. Okay. The Five of Pentacles represent a sense of loss. It could be financial issues, struggles with your with money. For some of you, it could be legal issues. Like maybe you have to go to court, and if that doesn't resonate with you, it could just represent like you having to work hard. And you know, like when you work hard, you will get results. So kind of like the justice is yours. Like the energy that you put into things is the energy that you get out, at least ideally in most situations. And I feel like that is happening here for you. But I definitely feel like for, you know, some of you, there has been some sort of conflict, and it could actually lead to court, or at least to a situation where you're gonna have to kind of be balanced and try to be ethical despite feeling like you are losing something, or feeling like you have lost something. With the Hanged Man here and the Two of Pentacles here, I do feel like you are keeping it in a balance. These are two cards that, you know, like if I were to describe them, it would be balance, or maybe kind of waiting. The Hanged Man particularly is about also about kind of like seeing things from a different perspective. So it could be that this situation that is going on here, it has left you in a sort of limbo in having to balance between different things, and having to wait, and having to kind of like keep things in perspective, and you are successful at it. And I feel like this is like a big change in your life that is forcing you to kind of like pause, to look things from a different perspective. It does feel like a struggle, but at the same time I feel like you are handling it in a very fair and kind way, because the Justice card is, you know, it's also a card of like just and ethical behavior. So maybe even if someone mistreated you, I feel like you are that type of person that is able to look at it from a bigger perspective. So that could be like arguments or financial matters that you are having to deal with this fall season. And then let's look at cards in the future position. So this is kind of like future outcome cards that represent like the end of the fall season for you. So here's the Chariot, Four of Wands, and Queen of Pentacles, with King of Cups as bottom of the deck energy. The Chariot tells me that you are able to work through this situation by kind of like taking the reins and having the willpower to live through all of this that is happening, and it will be successful for you. So whatever the situation it is here, it will end in success. And you definitely have this like King of Wands energy, like very fiery, willpowery energy. And all that will lead to success. Like maybe if it was a legal issue, I feel like it will end in your favor. Or if it was an argument, it will end in your favor. Or you will be able to settle because of your very just and ethical character. The Four of Wands tells me of like celebration and success as well. It's also a card of social connection, so it would make sense that you will be able to, you know, settle if there has been an argument with someone, or settle if there has been a legal issue going on. And it will leave you in a very abundant place. So the Queen of Pentacles here tells me of material and emotional maturity, particularly in career or home life. So all this balancing and being patient and seeing things from a different perspective just leaves you in a place of abundance and wealth. Possibly emotional wealth as well, because the King of Cups is a very mature card on an emotional and spiritual level. So there are definitely some challenges in your life this fall season, but they will be resolved by the time that the winter season begins, okay? And lastly, I pulled 2 cards for advice. One from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle card deck, and the other from the Herbcrafter Tarot deck. So from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle card deck, we have a card called Complacency. And it's a card that advises you to kind of stop procrastinating and to work on fulfilling your dreams. Kind of like this reading tells me that you're not really in the place to kind of work on your dreams unless this process here, like these arguments or whatever it is that you're dealing with, have something to do with your dreams. But I feel like at least when all of this has been resolved, it is very important for you to kind of stop dwelling on the past and put your mind on your dreams and your goals and start working on them. This is a red card, so it stands for the root chakra. The root chakra is it's the place for our sense of security. So I feel like this process here probably leaves you a bit shaken despite your inner strength. But, you know, if you are able to kind of stabilize yourself and to work on your inner safety, that will help you to move on from this situation and to just put the focus back on yourself and on your dreams. Okay? And then we have the Chariot, another Chariot. So we have 2 Chariot cards. So this card in particular, Cedar, it advises you to be determined and to kind of combine your spirit and body because cedar is, as a material, it is used for spiritual and kind of everyday objects. So this card advises you to kind of combine elements of, spiritual practice, of being a spiritual person, with your bodily and your very material existence. It kind of makes me think of like how this card relates to this journey or this thing that you are going through. But it feels like this journey here, it's very material for you. Like imagine going to court, for example, or having an argument. It's like a very bodily experience. You kind of feel it in your body. Like maybe you feel very tense, angry, scared. So it could be beneficial for you to kind of combine it with like aspects of spirituality as well, like maybe meditation, yoga, journaling, things like that. It will probably help you on your journey and to move on from this situation and to be a more kind of whole person in all different aspects, like bodily and spiritual aspects, something like that. So pile 3, that was your reading. I really hope that it provided you with some clarity. Thank you so much for watching, and if you feel called to do so, please like and comment, and if you haven't done it already, feel free to subscribe. I really appreciate it. So thank you so much for your support, and all the best for the coming fall season. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye bye.